Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome back to Final Expense Telesales. My name is Dana Neeson. Today, I am continuing our interviews of our leaders and our future managers, and I am bringing someone very special to you. Not only has she been in the business as a top producer for over almost 2 years, but she is also going to be featured as one of the contestants in Cody Askin's Ultimate Agent. I'm very excited for you to meet her, hear her story, and of course, if you have any desire to want to work with Miss Sydney Deshotel, we will get you all her information in the description below of this video. Welcome, Sydney.
Hi.
I'm so glad you're here today. This has been a long time coming for you.
Right. I know. I'm glad to be here too, Dana.
So we're going to take it all the way back to when you first got into the business. We want to kind of hear your from rags to riches story, and then I'll ask you some follow-up questions, and we'll get down to what you're doing now and how you're looking to grow a team.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so
Start at the beginning.
how I got into the business, I had only like bartended and served in the past. And I was like, what do I want to do with my life? So I thought maybe I wanted to go for nursing or something. So whenever I started in this business, I was working like at a physician's clinic because I thought I was going to go back to college and go to nursing. And a friend of mine who was like very successful in sales was like, you should go into sales. And I had never even considered that before because I always had the idea that like I needed to go to college and like, something like that.
Get a job.
Sales to me, right? Sales to me wasn't promising. And so I started looking more into it. I had some people that I knew who had their license. And I remember before even considering this, I would look at them and I'd be like, what the heck are they doing? Because they were like, their lives looked better. I'd known them before they got into the business, and then their lives looked great. So I kind of initiated it and I did really well.
When
I
you
will
say
never
really
forget.
well, what does that mean really well?
So before I got into the business, I was working hourly. I think I made like 28,000 a year.
Mhm.
And then my first year here, I deposited like almost 140,000.
In your
And
first year,
yeah, yeah.
deposited.
So
So that's after expenses and chargebacks.
yes.
That's
Yeah.
that's
So
that's phenomenal.
right. I did really well. And I was like, oh my gosh, and granted, it was really hard. Like I had a really good work ethic.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, I don't know, I was like this, for me, I didn't really have a backup plan. Like I knew that I could go back to college, but I was like, that's 4 years. And I did really well my first year. So I was like, I don't want to do anything else. I'll never forget working in the doctor's office. I had my own little office, and I was making calls to like leads that I had just gotten. I was like selling in between like rooming patients.
That's funny. Did they know you were doing that?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't work there for much longer after.
Okay. So you actually just touched on something that I want to bring light, and I've been meaning to bring it up to the entire team, but I'm just going to say it here instead. You mentioned something that in your first year you had an incredible work ethic. And if someone asked me who on your team has the best work ethic or as at the top of the top when it comes to work ethic, without a doubt, without any hesitation, it's you. And that's important. And I'm not saying that to make you feel good about the
Right.
fact that you have a good work ethic. You are always on Zoom. You are always encouraging people. You are always the last one at the end of the day that I visibly see making calls. And you show up on Saturdays and you have a positive attitude, and you can't teach that very well. Like it has to be something that is just internally driven. And so I think a lot of agents in general struggle with that internal drive. So what drives you, Sydney? Like where do you think that work ethic and that drive comes from, and what is your why?
So that was like instilled in me at a very young age. Like my mom always taught me, like, do not rely on anyone else for money. Like, she always, and she instilled, like, it's always been there. Um, my why is funny because for so long, like I didn't know what it was. I just knew I could work. Like I just knew I had a good work ethic and like I liked to work.
Yeah.
And then like eventually, my first year was rocky and it was hard and I did well, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't hard.
Yeah.
And so like just working a lot wasn't enough. Then I started to get kind of depressed because my life was like it was nothing but work. And so I would hear people talk about their why a lot. And it was always like their children or like I want to, support my family and stuff like that. I don't have like I have a mom and I have a family and I'm really close with them, but like I'm not married. I don't have children. So I was like, I don't know what my why is. So like surface level, I chose my nieces. Because I anyone who knows me knows that like I adore them
Yes.
more than anything. I'm like super close with my nieces. So I thought that like, okay, maybe that's my why. Um, but then I was like, I don't understand here. Like my nieces have wonderful parents. Like, and of course I want to be a good role model for them. Um, and then things changed drastically in the past couple months. And I like figured I got like this fire lit under me and I figured out like kind of like a new why. I met you and I switched over to Empower. And like for the first time, I felt like there was a really good system in place. And there was like a really good script and like really good training. And I was like, I can't believe, that I can't I can't believe I've been doing this for a whole year without this, like without everything that Empower has provided me with. And I think my new why kind of turned into like, I want to be the best like mentor to my future agents because like I know how hard emotionally and mentally this business can be when you don't have direction and you don't have like the proper systems in place and you don't have great mentor. Like I know what that can look like
Yeah.
in turn. Like it's hard. And I was like, I want to provide like this, what you provided for us. Like that's what I want to provide for my new agents. And that kind of turned, I don't know, it got me super motivated again.
So there'll be people watching this that'll say, well, why do you need systems and training and all of that? You did 100, deposited 140,000 in your first year, which means you sold a lot more than that. But I'm sure you also saw like a lot of people come and go and try it and fail. And then you talked a little bit about how you got into a depression. So were you in a depression and still selling at like a high capacity?
Oh my gosh, Dana, like it makes me want to tear up thinking about this. Like I everything looked great on paper. Like I was always on the leaderboard, like I was producing at a high level.
Mhm.
Everything looked great on paper last year, but I couldn't figure out like it's like I could never catch up. Like I never felt like I felt so out of control because I was producing at like a really high level, but like I didn't know what persistency was or like what placement. I knew nothing. It was
Mhm.
my first year in business. Like those things weren't taught to me. So anytime I'd get a charge back, I thought it was like the end of the world, because I
Yeah.
didn't, I didn't know that these things just happen sometimes. So like if anything minor happened, I was just like, oh my gosh, like because there was just nothing in place to show us that like okay this percentage is normal,
Mhm.
this right here we need to work on some things. So like I just felt the only way I know how to explain it was I just felt so out of control.
Yeah.
And that's a really bad feeling. And then I would find that like whenever I would get a new agent and they weren't super outgoing like I was, I didn't know what to do with them
Mm.
because I wasn't trained. So I thought I was like, if you're not outgoing, I don't know what to tell you, you know?
Because you have said many times that you were so used to selling based on personality, right?
Right. I
Yeah.
thought that was, yeah, I was just, I didn't have the right training. So like it was hard for me to help new agents. And that's a really dark place to be in, to feel like I'm out of control. My business is out of control. And like, I don't know how to help these newer agents. It's a really dark feeling. And I think Roger explained it perfectly a few meetings ago. Um, he didn't know this, but I felt like he was speaking directly to me. He
Hmm.
said, when you're not properly trained or if you don't have a process in your calls, then like you're only catching the low hanging fruit when you're calling your leads. And then you're just stuck in survival mode because then you have to buy way more leads than someone who knows what they're doing would. And I was like, gosh, I feel like he's speaking directly to me because that's kind of how I felt last year, you
Yeah.
know?
And so, what was the shift for you where you kind of were deciding whether or not you were going to stay where you were at or whether you were going to seek other opportunities?
It was a really hard decision because I was really close with the people at my last IMO. I mean, that was all that I knew for a year. Like they were my introduction to the business.
Yeah.
And I had obviously gotten really, really close with them. I work a lot, like morning to night, 6 days a week usually. So I was used to seeing their faces. But for me, it was like I had to choose like growth over comfort, because that was comfortable to me. But like in my heart, I knew that coming over here was the right decision. I knew that like long term, this was what was going to help me build something of value. This is where I was going to learn, the right systems and be able to help newer agents. And I just knew that this is the long-term goal. And I had to choose like growth over comfort. And I did. And I'm so grateful that I did because what I found over here is that like you find great people. Like I found great people over here. I'm like, wait, I've been missing out on these people this whole time.
So let's talk about that for a moment, because I think the word culture gets thrown out like candy. That's like the new chiclet. Is everyone's
Yeah.
like culture this, culture that. When you think about and picture the leaders at Lasting Mark, right? We have Roger Short, Chris Ball, Zach McElwin, Brian Askins. Like you, right? Even saying their names makes you feel a certain way. And then
Yes.
take that down a lever and you look at some of the people that we've attracted to empower, some of the leaders here. And then you really think about what true culture is. Kind of compare it. Like, what did you think culture was before, based on your experience, and what is that like for you now? Because sometimes, like, people might be in your same exact shoes thinking this is great culture, but
Mhm.
maybe they don't know any better. So did that make sense as far as like,
100%.
right, go ahead.
So I thought before this that like good culture was like, yeah, like let's go, let's do it, like let's win, because when you're hearing constantly that like, you know, we're in the best IMO, like you start to think, okay, maybe I am, like I have my second thoughts, but like I guess I am. I don't know. Everybody's saying I am. We are. But what I found when I came over here was that like people over here like want to see you grow as a person and as a professional. So like Roger didn't even know me. He had only heard about me and, maybe had seen me once at the boot camp. He sat down with me and had the most heartfelt conversation with me and like It makes me want to cry even thinking about it because I don't think he'll ever know how much that conversation meant to me. And I realized that like people over here, they care. They want you to grow as a person and they don't just care about like the production on the leaderboard. Listen, I had a great week. I did 11,000, over 11,000 this past week. But like Roger didn't care, like he was investing because he wanted me to like grow as a person. And that's how I saw with you. Like you're investing in, of course, you want to see me grow as a producer and as a leader, but like you care about me as a person too. And like you invest your time with me as a person. And sorry, I don't know if I got emotional and I don't know if that came out the right way. But that's it. I'm just all I can, the only way I know how to explain is like people over here really, really, really care. Like they want you to grow, not just your
Yes.
production on the leaderboard, but like they want you to grow. And it's the coolest thing ever. I've never felt like so heard and just safe and valued ever.
And so that has inspired you to want to be able to give that to agents that don't even know something like that even exists.
Right. I said that so many times. I didn't even know that this existed because I I mean, you don't know what you don't know, right? And I came over here and I was like, oh, this is what culture is. Like this is what it's supposed to feel like, you know? And for the first time, I felt like, oh, there's so much guidance. And like I got excited to grow a team over here because I just feel like I have everything that I could possibly need.
And when you say you have everything you possibly need, like, so kind of talk about what a new agent could look forward to. They wanted to work with you, Sydney, and like, what could they expect from, because at the end of the day, people do care about who are they going to call? How are they going to call them? What opportunity do they have to sell? Like, how much could they make? So peeling the layers behind the culture and the what did Roger say? We're the warm and fuzzy IMO. So peeling all that back, that's all good. People
Yeah,
don't realize how important that is until they have not maybe they don't have it, right? Because
right.
like what specifically can people expect from a systems and leads and process and training, if they were
Mhm.
to come work with you and under our umbrella?
So obviously, like we have daily trainings. And at first I thought like I had never had, serious training every day. I learned something new every day. Like this notebook is like full of notes.
Mhm.
And it's stuff that I incorporate every day. And it's so cool to see the training happening in real time. Like I'll be on the phone and I'll remember you're like, okay, say this whenever they say this, or lower your tone when they say this. And I can like watch it work in my phone calls. And it's just bizarre to me because I'm like, it works. Oh,
It
yeah. So
works.
obviously there's that. Like, and then you have like an ROI tracker. So I feel more in control of my business. We have the CRM, we have the dialer, we have all of that. Lots of support on Slack,
What
you
about the
know.
leads?
Oh my gosh. The leads. We get leads at cost. So they're not being marked up.
Mhm.
We get them. I don't know if am I allowed to say the name? I don't know.
Of who we use?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So like I use Scale My Social. Oscar, he's amazing. Um, so I'm not like buying leads from a lead vendor. The leads aren't saying like 50,000 for $10 a month. Like the leads that I buy don't think that it's free or they don't think that they're getting 50,000 for $10 a month. Like the ads are very honest.
Mhm.
And that makes it as I mean, I'm sure everyone has experienced that objection. Well, I thought it was this and it's not. I don't get that with these leads. And then I'm getting them at cost. So like right now I'm doing the SMS verified ones. I don't know what my
I'll tell you right now.
yeah, I don't even know what it is right now.
Let's just look at 1 week. So from last Sunday to today, your, let's see. I have to sign back in. Hold on 1 second.
I know it's way lower than what I would normally pay from a lead vendor for like an SMS verified lead.
Your current average lead cost is coming in at $11.18.
Shut up. I love that.
$11. Yep. That's your average. It fluctuates, right? Based
Yeah,
on what Met is doing, but I just pulled up July 1st to July 26th just to get a bigger range.
right, right. Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay. Yeah,
And you
so it's
sold
coming
and you
down
sold 11,000 just last week.
just last week. Yes.
Great. Uh,
Like,
okay. So we talked about how long you've been in the business, kind of where like what your experience was before, where you're at now. Me personally, I feel like you are stable, right? Like trying to put all the pieces together and going from not knowing a process to now knowing a process. How long did that take you? Because sometimes I think people can come to something like this and it puts a mirror in front of them and they're like, whoa, like I'm not
yeah.
ready for all of this. I don't want a process. I don't want to be held accountable to certain standards. And
Mhm.
they run. So like for
Right,
you, like what was that process like and how long did it take things to like click to where you felt like, okay, I got this?
right. Honestly, Dana, way quicker than I thought. So when I saw the script and then the trainings, I was like, it's gonna take me a year. Oh my gosh, like forever to figure this out. And of course, like we're always still learning, but I don't like it. It literally took me like a couple weeks to get fully comfortable. Um, and then I was like, good to go, you know? At first, I'm sure you remember this, I felt so uncomfortable reading off of a script
Yeah.
because I was so used to just saying whatever, and like me and my clients would end up talking about something totally unrelated to what we were actually doing. And so this was really new to me. But like I thought that I was never going to catch on. It just wasn't going to be, it wasn't going to be for me. I swear, after a couple, like it started feeling more comfortable after I got some reps in. And now I'm like, I can't believe I sold any other way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I have such a better connection with my clients now. I'm not just giving them prices in the first 5 minutes and then getting ghosted. Like, I know their why, you know? I have a better understanding of their situation, and I told this to you and I told this to Roger, like I don't feel icky. I feel like I'm really helping people now because there's a connection. I know more of their story, and um I, I don't know. It nothing about it feels icky. It's like really fuzzy and it makes me feel good because I feel like I'm making a difference, you know?
Absolutely. And you do. Like once you have control over how to take a client through hello to congratulations and it's rinse and repeat and you do the same thing every single time, now you can take that and you can help agents learn it, right?
Yeah.
And then
Well,
and then that duplicates downstream and it makes growing a team so much fun.
I know. Well, that was my thing. I was like, as I'm like going through the script at first, it was super scary. Then I caught on to it and kind of got my own rhythm. And I was like, wait, I don't like this. It's going to be so nice to build a team here because anyone can do this. Like, literally, all you have to do is read off of the script when you're new. And then, like, and then you eventually find your own rhythm. But I can help any new agent because it's so duplicatable, you know?
Talk about
Um,
like lead volume and what you think agents need as far as opportunity on a weekly basis and what should they expect to jump into if they wanted to work with you?
Leads are super important. Like we need people to talk to. I think when I first started, I was spending like 750 a week. I think now I'm doing around 1,000 a week. And then I do take some inbounds too.
Mhm.
So I don't know exactly how many leads I've gotten or how many leads I got last week off of that. Cause again, like the price fluctuates.
Let's see. Last week, Does this include inbounds? How many inbounds did you take?
Mm, I think I took like maybe 5 or 6 inbounds last week.
Yeah, so separate from that, you
Yeah,
got 90 leads.
90 leads last week. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I took a few inbounds. So like leads are super, super important. Like we need to have people to talk to. And what I've found, I've done the whole like sometime last year, I was I find that like agents will spend money. I know for me, like I will more willingly spend money if I'm confident in what I'm doing.
right.
When I look at like last year when I didn't have any training, I was always, I mean, I would still spend the money, but I was always terrified. And so I would go through these periods where I would just call older leads. Um, and that's just depressing, you know? Like, I mean, of course, if I run out of things to do, like I'll let my dialer run, but like it's important to have new people to talk to every day.
Every day.
I mean, it's better for your emotional and mental health and for your finances too.
Of course, because I think that the most important tool and asset that you have to have here is in your head, right? 'Cause if you don't
100%.
have that mental stability and that mental strength to learn a new skill, implement the new skill, show up when it gets hard, and not care about the outcome when somebody gets on the phone and like putting all that together in one, like it's a lot. So having a good mentor and having a good team and having people that will say, "Hey, I've been there." I think that's really critical in new agent success. And I think for existing agents, you may find that you're somewhere that doesn't align with your values
Mhm.
or your beliefs, or maybe it is too much rah rah and you're looking for some substance. Like we have that here, and I'm here to say that Sydney is going to be is actually, because we already have started contracting some agents under her, an awesome leader here. And I'm looking forward to, have you thought about a team name yet?
And I've thought about like I need a team name, and I was like, wait, Dana and I need to sit down because I have no idea what to do.
Hey, if you have any ideas for Sydney Deshotel's team name, put it in the comments. Let's get her some
Yeah.
ideas.
I don't want it to be like the Deshotel group. I don't want that. That's why I'm like trying to think of something.
Yeah,
Yeah, drop it in the comments. I'd love some ideas.
there we go. Okay, well, any last words of wisdom for anyone that, or how do they reach you, Sydney? How can someone find you besides contacting me to get to you? How could they find you?
Social media. You can look me up on Facebook. It's Sydney. Instagram. You can it's Sydney underscore Desitel. Reach out to me either on one of those. That's fine. I check my social media daily.
I'll put the links in the description below for you so people can reach out to you, send you, you can slide into Sydney's DMs.
Yeah,
She'll
in my
find you.
DMs.
She'll find you and get you an interview, see if you're a good fit, and get you on one of the Meet the Partners calls. And we'll just get you all in with all the warm and fuzzy things that Lasting Mark and Empower Life Group has to offer. Thank you so much for being here, Sydney.
Thank you, Dana. This was great. I appreciate it.